Dude, I love the vision. That's
I'm already about it. I'm a huge visionary. I'm already about it right there.
we need more people like that. Mr. 62, you're investing a lot of brand
Brandage.
into this in number that might change, might go up. Is that
Might
is
go
that
up,
the
might
plan?
go down. It's all about the. It's like the stock market. It may crash, it may flourish.
But I'm riding the wave.
Taki,
Oh yeah, have
legend.
to. The first guy that I knew that was just like when I made Marth and he destroyed me. That's just it still haunts me to this day. He's the best player. I don't care what any numbers or rankings are. You haven't played Wednesday Night Talkie.
I'm
All right.
so I'm so perplexed. Like, what is the etiquette here of what stage we do?
So I think so. The first couple times we struck, but when you strike normally, uh, you kind of end up on like boring battlefield. And over the
Right.
course of 99 stocks, I like a little variety. So, and no one wants to play on FD. So I'm thinking I'm fine with Yoshi's Fountain, Dreamland, or Stadium. So
Right. I think I like either the Fallon or the Yoshis.
I don't think we've done Fountain yet. So
I'll be
I'm
the
down.
first. I'm totally down with that.
I'm down with Fountain.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Let's bang it out.
Let's bang it out. All right. Let me make sure I'm all good. All right. UCF. Talkie's on. Yeah, let's do it. All right.
Virtual fist bump.
Absolutely. I've done this with a lot of Marths so far, so I'm gonna try not to.
You're gonna be the strongest fox against Marth.
Just in this format.
Just.
Oh, the weight's so good. Nice. There's blood in the water. I always want this first stock.
First stock, it's everything.
Oh, give it to me, give it to me. I don't even care if I have to steal it. Fuck. First blood.
It's everything.
Blood.
It's everything now.
What if I just traded every stock? It's one way to win.
It's efficient. Now here's the real question of the future of the show is when's the first time that Carroll wins?
Well, I played Boyd recently, and
It was close.
I played Fox because he really was. I forgot that he mentioned it would be a deal breaker if I played Peach.
Oh, if you played Peach?
But after playing through it as Fox and like we had a good time, he said he'd be willing to do the Peach. I think that'd be one that if I stay like mentally like focused for the whole time, which is probably the hardest part.
Because you got to entertain the people at the same time.
Right, right.
All the pressure is on you. This is a Thursday night for me.
Right, right.
I'm playing that play right now. You're doing a show.
Trying. We'll get some people in here, and they're usually late to the party, but that's fine.
Oh.
Maybe today's the day I win Stango. Who would have thought?
No, dude. I cursed it by saying it. I should have just been like, you know what, Carroll, it's over for you. Your career is done. I don't know. That tipper was kind of demoralizing. I felt like any momentum that you had is now completely grinded to a halt. Because here's the thing. I'm going to read the other jump. Oh. Here it is. Jump. Jump.
I start learning my my bad habits as it goes on.
Yeah.
So, which is
there's so much adaptation that you can do with 99 stocks.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ooh, I thought I could.
The OS.
Nice. Followed it. Solid.
Another
The
one
double
for the
dip.
road.
There we go. That's what is good
First
too.
lead.
The other thing I also do is I'll edit all the cool parts together and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I've seen this format a few times. I actually like it.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm gonna try to do as many as I can. Yeah, I need to
Before
make
Melee
a
dies or you die.
right. I need to make a
Yeah.
spreadsheet of all the data. The Slippy results are so cool afterward. That's like my favorite thing. So far, I've won in a category. No one's beat me in every category. When you win over the course of 99 stocks, like, you win in most. But there's always one category I win in. Which is always, I'm slipping off these platforms, baby.
Slipping on Slippy. Oh, hold on.
And that's the fun part too, because you can go through your what's it called, like moments of like really like try harden, and then you got like, all right, I'm up by 30 stocks. I can go for some razzle.
But I think what I'm gonna try to go for is
The record.
yeah, I'm gonna go for the either most stocks had, or I want to beat you in every category.
Right. Okay. Yeah. There's always a goal for these.
Because if it's not goal oriented, this can get very boring very fast.
Right. I don't want you to, what's it called? Don't hold back.
I'm actually a very firm believer. I never hold back against anyone in Melee, even a beginner, because my whole ideology of it is that you know, if I beat you as hard as I possibly can and you still stick around to play, you're gonna
worth
have a
it.
future.
Ooh, that was one of those things I didn't die there.
Oh crap.
You know what I mean? That good of
Yeah.
a guy. Also happens sometimes.
It's because Mutes King's actually streaming Ultimate right now. I didn't have his energy to help me. Oh no.
Right.
Crap.
Has he played any Melee? Are there any Melee results in this year from Mewtwo King?
No.
Damn, what a
I don't
shame.
think so, no.
When is this fad gonna die out? With him, it probably won't. He's probably
Yeah,
never
no.
gonna be actually that good at it, like he has been in other games. But
Yeah.
he's still gonna rock it just as hard as he played like fucking Brawl. You know what I mean? So weird.
Right. And that was for a long time. And I think the thing is that he wouldn't rock it as long if he wasn't winning, if we weren't in the age of Smash that we are now.
Right. This is
Because he can just literally make money, you know, just making content. He never has to be you know, #1 in the game. He had to be #1 in Brawl to survive.
Yeah. That was such a terrible time for everybody when he
Yeah, very stressful.
When he would-
At one point in my career, that's how I kind of played Smash.
Really?
Yeah, I used to, you know, have very stacked locals as far as entrance and things like that, where, you know,
Ooh.
getting first in singles and doubles, I was taking home maybe 500 or 600
Oh,
a
nice.
day. And, you know, when it came to like regional events as well, that money was always going on the East Coast. But the issue is I just wasn't good enough at the time, and I would, you know, struggle. And the reality of it is that with that struggle came distress. I would really get on myself. Like I have to succeed. This is like what I'm making money with.
It's a bad place to be. That's like a
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're not playing for the
thing
right
you enjoy
reasons,
to do should never be
that's
the
stressful.
only thing.
Keeping
the only
you
thing
down.
that is like keeping you, you know, alive. Because I was a college kid, I didn't have a job or nothing.
Right.
Not college kid, high school kid. I didn't have a job or nothing, but you know, I had things that I had to get for myself because, you know, me and my mom, we weren't necessarily doing the greatest financially, and I had to be able to support myself.
Oh yeah, exactly. Man, Melee is whatever you want it to be, man. It could be
Exactly.
a job,
It can be a job, or it can be
hobby,
you know,
it could be like, you know,
your worst
social
nightmare.
outlet, your creative outlet. That's what it is for me. I think it's the most, like, it's my creative outlet. And, like, that's important, you know? Even people that don't even think that they're creative, like, you need to have something like that. What's up, Loves Water? I just saw you in the chat. Over and under for this one. I don't know. I think I could take an honest, like, 40. That's what I'm shooting for. If not win it. We were talking about me winning it earlier. You never know.
Today's the day.
Today's the day.
That's actually a legendary meme from my region.
Today's the day.
Yeah, today's the day. Would you like some background?
I would love some background. I have not been to Philly as much as I need to be. Never played him, but I know him. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the guy that beat X at Big House.
Oh yeah.
So there was a whole thing between me and him because we were from the same region when he went to school in Pennsylvania, in Swarthmore, like an hour outside of the city.
Mm-hmm.
We had a very tired set history between each other. At one point, it climaxed to about 15-0.
15-0
in my favor.
Oh damn.
And one meme that we had, you know, leading up to it, like his boys, be like, "Today's the day.
Today's the day.
Today's the day that he does it."
Oh yeah.
And it would just never happen. It was like the day that they prophesized for centuries, and it just never occurred. It was just really funny.
Still to this day.
One day, it did happen.
Ooh, nice.
I played Link in Winners Finals because the tournament was called Event Match. And I'm getting nasty real quick. Hold on.
Pause this. Ooh,
oh yeah, that's
grass
right there.
The grass transformation, or the grass like little part.
I jumped a little bit too.
Oh
it
yeah, that's also a thing. Yeah.
But if you may be able to guess from the name, it's called Event Match, and it's actually named after the 51 events in Melee.
Oh yeah.
So each Saturday it was on, it would just pretty much copy and paste the name of the event in the categorized number.
Okay.
And
so which
the
one
event it
were you
was
at?
that I went to? It was the Triforce Gathering.
Ooh, that's a good one. You unlock Ganondorf there.
Yeah.
Don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
and,
is that 29 or am I just like a super psycho at Melee?
I don't think it's 29
or 30. I think it's somewhere in that realm.
Might be in the 30s. I'll give you brownie points after this. We'll go look at it. Someone has to remind us in chat, but we'll go look at it. You have to guess your number and exact.
Uh-oh. This doesn't look like fun.
Oh, you didn't fall through.
Right. What do I think of the Peach Marth matchup? I think it's just Marth favored. Nothing too crazy. Peach is a high tier, Marth is a high tier. They both can do things, but I think Marth does it better. Would you agree?
Yeah. I think what it is that years ago, you know, during the reign of like PP as Marth, it was really exciting watching him play against, you know, Armada's Peach and all, because that matchup, even though it was still widely considered Marth favored, Armada made it look much different than, you know, the normal storybook way of it. Just because of like how punishing he was.
Damn. I've been Ken comboed in that same quadrant.
Dude, I love that quadrant. This is the Stango zone. You actually get you take 15% more hits done. But anyhow, no, that era of Melee for that matchup really flourished, primarily because of the matchup was getting treated way differently than before. With a Mewtwo King style, it was all about camping, but Armada proved that camping as Marth against Peach is not as effective. Very much because she has this RNG effect that makes her a better character. So when that stopped working, Mewtwo King, you know, decided to, you know, fight him head on. But I think if if people are history buffs about Melee as much as they can be,
Hmm.
I think it's very commonly known that King has never been the best scrapper, you know,
Right.
toe to toe. Because if we look at his set history with, you know, the best fighters of the game, not very in his favor.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. He is.
Mango, PP, kind of have a very large lead on him in terms of lifetime.
Yeah, I don't think he
Uh,
has that anywhere. Like a lifetime lead on anybody.
maybe Axe.
Even I don't know. I feel like it's been getting closer and closer.
They played for years though. You gotta
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that. And
but like,
Sheik, Pikachu. That's just like that's always been bad.
but I've always just felt like Axe had the mental edge. Like every time I actually see them play, I'm just like, you kind of are like, all right, Axe is gonna win, but maybe Mewtwo can play well enough to like win. Ooh, that's a little. Ooh, that whole situation of not dying there was amazing.
So onto the matchup in itself. The main thing that really transformed with it is that PP kind of explored a lot of new neutral options, and those really didn't take effect to a lot of other Marth players because at that time still there really was only two Marths. It was PPMD and King. You know, the
Right,
Moon, PPU, they were doing things, but overall with their
you
consistency,
wouldn't watch them if you were like if you loved
if you
melee
were
like that.
trying to become, you know, the next big Marth, it wouldn't be those two. And you know, they definitely had things that those two didn't, but those two were just so consistent at the trade of it, and that's really what it was at that time. You know, all this optimization and things like that didn't really exist in that era, as far as how heavily optimized it is now. So all in all, we go from that, and then Mewtwo King starts labbing the matchup a little more closely than he previously has. And then we discover, you know, obviously Marth is a very strong character at edge guarding and, you know, keeping people at the ledge. And then we remember and discover, like, oh, wait a minute, Peach is actually by far the worst top tier on the ledge. No real good defensive options on the ledge. No real, you know, ledge invulnerability as far as getting on the stage. So when that was being looked at, Mewtwo King just thought to himself, he was like, so what if I just keep Armada entirely off the stage? I don't even try to, you know, combo him vertically, because all this time, you know, he outweights my timings or he counter hits. So if I just throw him off the stage where he's the weakest and Marth is, you know, relatively his strongest, that's where I can maybe make Armada crack in his plan. And that's exactly what he did at Summit. I studied that set very closely, and I was like, this is the new wave to fighting Peach. This is what you do.
I actually thought like he was like at a point that it was gonna be Sheik that he did it with first. I don't think he ever has.
And there was a
Sheik.
time where he almost did it.
Yeah, he did
If you remember that.
That was a heartbreaking set.
Oh yeah, he SD'd last stock.
I think that matchup is even worse for Peach.
Even worse than Marth?
Well, I don't know. Ooh, hell yeah. But we'll take this. I don't know. It definitely doesn't seem that way now. Matchups have went like a whole like I don't know from when I started playing.
Up, down,
up, down. Yeah,
old,
I'd like definitely think differently about a bunch of matchups. Like I was a perfect example of that, which is back in the day, it was very Marth lost a Sheik, probably heavy.
Yeah.
And that's not so much the case anymore.
Right.
And I think that the way those change is because of the like the everyday, the general meta. It's so if there was one Marth that was beating Sheik, we'd still be like, all right, Sheik wins. But like now it's like all the Mars kind of gameplay the same, and they all kind of punish like Sheik things like the same. So overall, like everyone is doing something different than they were like 5, 6, 7 years ago. If that makes sense. I probably like butchered like what I actually mean, but
yeah, you're essentially saying that the flow chart, because I think what it is with Marth is that back when Mewtwo King was the best Marth, I think what it really was is that you know, the flow chart was so attuned to like this guy's like grand scheme of how Melee is played instead of like the character's core strengths and abusing the matchups. What it really was is just like Mewtwo King was able to make his opponents bleed for an opening.
yeah, it was pretty much if
more.
Mewtwo King sucked at the matchup, Marth didn't win it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mewtwo
exactly.
King was the only person that like was capable. And you know what's funny, dude? I kind of think Mewtwo King is like kind of an idiot at Melee. Don't you like kind of agree? Like he's not like I'm also in the same boat. Like I couldn't tell you why some things are good or some things are bad, but like, and there are people that can do that. They could be like, oh, well, this is good because of this. Like moves are good or like positions and stuff.
Oh shit.
Everything Mewtwo King does kind of makes sense. Nothing like baffles me.
Right. I think what it was is that and I think you can kind of find the evidence of this, like back to like, you know, how he was early on as a player. I think Mewtwo King in a way did not learn some skill sets that you generally, or maybe what did not practice skill sets that you generally need to be like a top player. Like I feel like in terms of adaptation, he may be one of the poorer at it.
Yeah.
Generally because like if his strategy gets beat, he kind of
doesn't have a backup plan.
He doesn't have a fallback. Now, that's not to say that, you know, sometimes he makes great adaptations and it's like crazy and sick to watch, because I've definitely seen it before. But I think overall, to his effectiveness of it, Mewtwo King is a very study-based player where he needs to have a habit known to be able to, you know, effectively counter somebody, which isn't a bad skill or, you know, requirement to win. I just think primarily, you know, having some capability of changing on the fly is important, because there are some players whose entire specialty is that.
Oh yeah, I agree. I feel like Mewtwo King's like, okay, if the normal strategy isn't working, he kind of just like relied on the ledge, and that's where his like ledge, what's it called? Like reputation came from.
Right, because it was entirely based on the predication that you know, whoever he's playing against, it's just like you're just going to lose the will, the battle of will, by just approaching me.
Ooh, girl. Take it, take it. Wow, and you lived. What a legend. My son is my son is screaming from the crib.
Oh my god. Like Paul Bear.
So how was the summit campaigning this time around? Isn't that just like a soul selling experience? Like you've done this before, I think, and like was it like similar this time as to other times?
No, what happened first time actually is that I actually almost made it in round 1.
Oh, really?
Of vote-in phase, like to actually get flown there. I got out-bombed by West Balls.
Damn.
And then I ran out of ammo. That was all I had. So I think what the thing is with Summit, especially just for me, and I have no saltiness or ill will about it, because I think at some point you just have to realize that, you know, I think I don't really have the clout to make it in the Summit the normal way.
Right.
And I think that's okay. Obviously, what I like to, you know, make it in the Summit just by being like, hey guys, vote for me. You know, I'm Stango. I'm cool.
Yeah.
I
No
do
one
cool
can do that. I don't think anyone has ever just been like, yeah, I'm gonna opt in, see what happens. No one has ever just made it in like that.
Yeah.
You either make it in with a
I think it's something where, you know, could I do it? Yes, but I have so many things in my personal life. As far as, you know, I got a full-time job, like I said.
Right.
Primarily with myself as just like a personal thing. I procrastinate a lot, and it's primarily because I think one thing, unless it can actually be lucrative for me, I never want to treat Melee as my job.
Right.
Because that's where it stops being fun for me. I'm a very competitive person in nature, and that's why, you know, I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve. You know, when we were talking about like the whole Mr. 62 thing, like that's a direct contribution of my, you know, effort, and I got to a goal I wanted to by pure effort.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So as far as like you know, Summit, am I upset that I didn't make it in again? Yeah, but do I really have a tremendous right to? Because, you know, I didn't campaign nearly as much as I did last time. And, you know, are there people that deserve to get in more than me? I would say most certainly. You know, there's definitely people that I would say on average are better than me. But I think me going there, I definitely would be a pretty good addition. But
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
you can hold your own, man.
I think what it really is for me is that if I'm ever going to make it in the Summit, it's probably going to be through a qualifying spot.
And 2019 might be it, man. What are the qualifying spots? Smash and Splash and
Smash and Splash and the Mango are the last ones.
you planning on getting to both?
No, I actually have no PTO available from work until August.
Aw,
So pretty
damn.
much it's winter for me as far as Smash this year.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, that doesn't stress me out too much for like the top 100 rankings because I've already had one really good tournament. You know,
Fight Pit, baby.
was excellent for me.
Fight Pit is a good tournament to do well at. When I was
Yeah, dude.
I was so surprised when I like saw what's it called, all the ballots this year and the little info like graphics. They had the Fight Pit logo there. Like it's a big tournament in the eyes of the spectators.
Yeah. It's I think what it is that Fight Pit really embodies what you know, grassroots Melee is.
Oh,
It's
great.
definitely like a homegrown tournament series that's flourished into something that is very personal to people because it's not like the Gommels or the Apexes of tournaments. It's very underground as a tournament, and that's what I've always liked about it. Even if the one year that I intentionally went to Fight Pit, they canceled the Project M bracket because they were running out of time.
Oh god, yeah.
I remember that.
I may be to blame for Pittsburgh's hate of PM, although that hasn't stopped it from having a PM scene, which unfortunately it still does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you still play PM?
Yeah, I do. Not nearly as competitive as I used to, but I definitely do keep up with it as far as, you know, playing and, you know, hanging out with like PM top players. I am one of the Melee players that they do like because they, you know,
But they
I don't
like
trash
Melee
on
players.
their game.
Yeah, yeah.
But I have a main, you know, mutual like respect of people's decisions to not like the game because I understand it. And you know, if you really talk to a lot of PM guys, they'll agree with you more often than not. The game is kind of stupid sometimes.
Right.
But you know, I love Melee and all, but Melee can definitely give you that frustration of, you know, like this game just does not have everything completely attuned correctly.
Wow, that should not have hit. Yeah, that's Melee not being attuned for you. So what is it about like PM that's like your favorite? Like, what's your favorite part of PM? Is it just
I
like the
think
amount of characters, or?
I think when it comes to PM, actually, it has really nothing to do with the game itself, in a sense. It actually has to do with like I like the challenge of trying a game that I'm not 100% proficient in, but
Right, but it feels a
I
little
don't need to
similar.
meet the prerequisite like tech skill to start in it. Like playing against top PM players and trying to beat them is really fun. Like I said, when it comes to me, I'm like very competitive in nature. So like when it's just like, top 50 PM player because they're ranked in the 50s instead of top 100.
Hmm.
I'm just like, ooh, I want to play him in friendlies. I want to beat him as many times as I can. I like want to learn how to play this matchup.
You
It's
still
like
have
very
the
fun because like there isn't this barrier of like, oh, I don't know how to push these buttons right.
hmm like you can't even compete.
Yeah, I can't even compete because I still have training wheels and he's on a dirt bike.
Right, right. That's cool. So have you branched that competitive like spirit into other things? Like, have you played Ultimate and like tried your hand at that, or do you kind of
I
just
think
like?
the issue with Ultimate, for me personally, is that from the scene that I reside from, there isn't a lot of like local competition that I can easily go to because, like I said, not to strum the same chord, but working full time just completely takes any personal freedom for a good majority of things. It's very hard to find personal time to even play video games and shit, like which is typically my favorite pastime besides hanging out with my girlfriend.
Oh yeah, trust
Uh,
me, I feel that. I mean, I work full time too, and have a little baby. So
yeah, exactly, and
I
that's especially difficult. I wouldn't even be able to compare on that model, but that's the whole thing. Like when it comes to that local competition, the alternative would be playing online. The issue is that Ultimate's online.
super bad. Yeah,
It's
no.
terrible. It's actually the main reason that I don't have a Switch because as far as me, I'm not like the biggest Nintendo guy. There are some games that are coming out on the Switch that I may pick up, but if I were to buy a Switch, I probably would not buy Ultimate.
Yeah, I got a Switch for Christmas. I wasn't expecting to get one, and I bought Ultimate, or I got it with Ultimate. My girlfriend's super awesome. She got it for me, but I haven't bought any other like Switch games. I don't know. I'm not a big Nintendo guy either. I kind of have always found the games that I like to all follow the same pattern, where they're fun, they're competitive on like casual levels, and like you take them a little bit deeper, and they're like
Right.
like smashes.
They have layers.
Yeah, like Pokemon is. You know what I mean? Like you could play Pokemon, but then you could play Pokemon like a nut job. There are other games like that that I don't know come to mind. I can't think of any right now, but ooh, man. Oh, that was in the ledge canceled over B, or neutral B. Amazing. Well, welcome to the halfway mark.
Oh, and the
Man.
halfway mark is gone just like that.
Can you Ken combo to the left or not?
I mean, I could, but you just keep DIing so perfectly in that direction.
Maybe, yeah. I need to DI better over here.
Give me that.
It's hard to be a fox nowadays. I don't know if you've seen the news.
Seen the news, read the stats.
Yeah, yeah. It's tough out here. For
Yeah,
a
no,
fox.
definitely. I think Melee's gotten harder for all characters, and I'm not saying that because like I think a lot of the hive mindset of Marth is very unjustified. I think it's super super simplified, like what it takes to play Marth at a high level. But I also think that, like, you know, when it comes to, like, you know, Marth against certain characters, you know, Marth has gotten a lot better,
Oh
and
yeah.
so have characters against Marth. Like, Falcon, like, I know everyone is talking about, you know,
That's a big meme in your city.
yeah, like, Falcon's not an easy character to fight as Marth, and for the longest time, when Mewtwo King was, like, Rain, that matchup was free as fuck. You just throw him off stage and he just instantly obliterated it, edgeguard it. It's just like
Right, right.
the easiest thing that you could possibly think of.
The
It's like
funny part
edgeguarding
is
a
he didn't
baby.
even have to do it. He like didn't even do it. Like Falcons weren't good against Marth, and he just played Sheik anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like, really, when
So
it came to
it's probably because he didn't set the blueprint
the
down.
bar,
Yeah. If he would have played like stuck Marth through that matchup in that era, like we'd have a better blueprint as Marth against Falcon. Because
and I think what it really is that, right? Like those things that, like, if that foundation isn't set in the beginning, like, Falcons had a really large lead against Mars because they were just struggling. Even, you know, against, you know, non-Mewtwo King level Mars. So when they grind it, the Mars were just sitting there complacent, like, oh, well, you know, this matchup's free. You know, what's through the grind? I have to worry about, you know, this Hungry Box guy that, you know, destroys Mars, doesn't lose to him for 11 years or something like that.
damn.
So when it came to that matchup, it just came out of surprise all of a sudden. It's just like, oh, 20GX is here, and the Marth stock has severely gone down. There was a time in Melee, like, when Mewtwo King was getting bodied, you know, no Mars were really doing anything. Mars stock was at a pretty big low when Mango and Hungrybox and PP were, you know, kind of, you know, taking up shop.
Absolutely. Marth players in general. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong about this. Marth players in general are stubborn and
I can speak that from personal experience.
boring. No, okay, so now we live in the Zane world now, right? Where everyone is just loving fucking the Zane shit, right? But like, I don't know, in my personal experience, because I play Marth a decent bit. Used to main Marth, main like Marth in like a tournament age too. But like every time I like kind of like put my like mind to Marth and come up with like some like, I don't know. It's obviously not like the most proficient stuff or the like most optimal stuff, but it's still stuff.
Like new stuff.
And it gets shut down by Marth players a lot. Marth players are so happy doing what they've been doing.
The flow chart.
Right. You know who like I've.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go. I gave you one.
As I'm talking about how boring Marth players are. I've noticed like people that play characters like kind of have like similar like mentalities about things. I don't know. There are obviously outliers, but
yeah. So to answer your question, yeah, definitely when it comes to Marth players, when it comes to new tech that, you know, may cover some options, but it doesn't necessarily look very orthodox. I think what it is about Marth as a character. And I know this is going to be a meme because he's kind of like a semi-floaty in a way where, like, he gets comboed, but, like, he combo breaks a lot easier than, like, a Fox or a Falco, per se. But Marth is a very punishing character to do something wrong with. Primarily because of the way his kit is designed. You know, he has the combo breaks and things like that, but generally when the follow-up is done correctly, and I feel like with a lot of the top tiers, a lot of the Marth follow-ups are very fleshed out at this point, that, like, if you're dropping combos against Marth, it's just like, what are you doing? You know, Marths have had it figured out for, you know, actually, they haven't had it figured out for that long. I feel like the era of, like, PP and then into Zane, Marth punish game on Spacies has exponentially gone up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the same time, because of the dominance of Marth, it's definitely gone up for space. Oh, nice! It's definitely gone up for Spacies as well as far as their punish game. on the other side of the fence. So when you're looking at missing something with Marth, for example, when I'm playing against IBDW, in net play,
The homie.
I've never been in a position where I played against somebody and I feel like, fuck, I'm getting hit. Like this is stressful. Like, cause I feel like I can die off of every hit.
Yeah. Like he'd kill
And
you.
that
Right there.
doesn't feel the same against like some players. Like, for example, when I played against Mango, it may had to do with how Genesis was just as a weekend in general for me. Like, I was just kind of tapped into the zone. But when I got hit by Mango, I was just like, I'm not stressing about this. I feel like I'm going to be fine.
Mango has always felt the most human to me as far as someone to play as a like god,
because he's very straightforward. I feel like Mango, he doesn't actually do many mind games in a sense where he takes a page from your book and like blows up the habit. I think Mango's biggest strength is that he's always used his movement to push the issue against somebody. I feel like that's when Mango's at his strongest. Like when he uses his movement to manipulate the opponent. I don't think he's the type of player where he's just like, oh, I'm gonna wave dash back because you're doing the grab. No, I'm gonna wave dash back, dash through you, nair pressure you, and then all of a sudden I'm just gonna hit the pause button on the buttons, and you're gonna roll right here because I know you are.
Right.
I think that's what gives Mango his strength. It's absolutely completely attuned to come on.
How to get rid of that 69 stock.
I think it's completely attuned to how his opponent feels as far as like I feel like I'm getting pressured, not like he read or anticipated this based on this. I don't think he's ever been like that.
Right.
Consistently, and I don't think that's ever been his strength if he's ever tried to utilize that kind of strategy.
Yeah, Mango is one of the only I've taken an honest game off Mango, but he answers right back with a 3 stock with
right
3-0 to death. But I never felt the pressure of I can't mess up. Like when you play Mewtwo King, you can't mess up. Or Hungry
If
Box.
you mess up, he legitimately bleeds. He makes you bleed.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it comes to Mango, you feel like you can always
you could scrap.
Throw in a jab. Like he's dropping it. He has an opening that you can exploit. When it's against some of these other players,
What's up, Davey?
It can sometimes feel like it's just like there's no weak point here when he has the advantage. And to be honest, you never do that. Ever.
DI away on that.
Yeah, never do that. You were probably reading for other DI, but yeah, that's the
It was probably just I wasn't even accounting where I was on the stage.
Yeah, it happened so fast. You thought you were up here thinking you were gonna get Ken comboed again. Is probably
right.
It was.
It's probably you've conditioned me. The conditioning over...
I condition you that the right side of the stage equals Ken combo.
So yeah, left side is where I need to be. Nice.
So
alright, you're going on a little run here. I need to buckle down.
Oh. Now let me ask you, because every time I get interviewed, I always like to ask the interviewer the question. I like to flip flip the formula on you.
Flip it. I love answering questions.
So here's the thing. What's the story of the 99 stock battle? Because as far as I'm aware from the grapevine, I've always heard that it's actually a Pittsburgh Classic to do this kind of format.
No, you know what? Just something. So the original one with Mewtwo King, we just kind of did. He was at my house. And it was back in the Mewtwo King era where he just showed up to your house and you had to take care of him, even though me and my roommates worked and he was just at our house. And, like, he lived there until we shoved him on a bus to the next tournament. But he was at our house and, you know, it was, I don't know, the idea came randomly. But it's also something that hasn't been done, you know what I mean? It's a good,
It's a good
like,
format.
it stood the test of time. Like, that VOD gets a lot of views, like the original one with Music King, just because it's, like, you know, I think people like watching me.
It's
people
content
like,
that will
yeah,
never age.
Right, exactly. And, like, it's an interesting, yeah, no one does this. So now that I live in the era where I can do this against a lot of people, damn, that's cool. It's interesting, you know.
Right.
It's a phase right now, I would say. But
I
and
think
like
it can
once
grow,
I get,
especially if you apply that intro that I talked about.
oh yeah, dude, I definitely should get an intro for the. I'm gonna get a little better at the production value of like YouTube. Right now, I just kind of I post two. I post the whole VOD if people want to watch it and kind of like, you know, people learn things, you know what I mean? I think I'm a good fox to like obliterate and like people can learn like, all right, because I like to do a lot of different things and like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
All right.
A lot of times it's bad, but like watching someone like who does know like what they're doing, they have that gameplay and like that killer punish game. You know, you learn a lot. People say all the time, it's like, yeah, dude, I learned this little tiny thing that you pointed out, like, you know, or like, I'll get Ken, damn, I'll get Ken comboed 40 times the same way, and they'll be like, yeah, I learned how to DI that because you did. So yeah, I post the whole VOD, the whole 99 VOD, and then like one of just good like talking points and like combos. And we got a lot going on so far. So it's like I find myself in that Joe Rogan hole of YouTube where I just like watch those like videos like one after another because they just keep playing. So like he has those huge like 3-hour like interviews, but then like I just watch like the highlights. So people just want the highlights. Some people watch the whole thing, so I put it there.
Everyone is the age of media is switched very to a consumable format. It's all about the quickness and effectiveness of your content.
Oh, and that leads me to another thing that I have noticed over the last like it's been this year. It hasn't really been a thing before, but like the Twitter clips. You log onto Twitter, you see some sick combos because people just upload them there, and that's where they're putting them.
Yeah,
for a
YouTube.
quick like 1,000 likes, man. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I don't know. This might sound like whatever, but like I think I was one of the first people to like start putting like some good clips on Twitter and like seeing like, you know, and people just people took off at it. And there are people that I love that do that all the time. Connor the Kid, I watch his shit all the time. He's always doing some crazy shit. But now that it's such a thing, I've kind of find myself not wanting to do it. Not because I'm against it or whatever, but I also like, I love keeping all the good stuff and then releasing it all at once. Like the combo videos is like my bread and butter. Like
it's a staple. It's a lost art.
It is, yeah. Maybe afterward, like after my next project, I'll go back and like be the Twitter clip guy.
So one other question that I very obviously prepared for you, and this will be my last one. You can go back to talking about me because I love talking about me. But if you had to pick who your like your most wanted guest in your mind, who would it be? Who is the guest that PGH Carroll says this person, if they would agree to it, I would love to have them on the show. They're the #1 pick. And don't say me because I know you'll be lying.
I don't know, dude. I'm so down with anybody. Obviously, I love. There's a couple that come to mind for some really nice. There's a couple that come to mind. Like one that I've been thinking of is like, man, when I get Zane to do this, I want him to just take me to FD and literally 90 stock me. Like, I want him to just destroy me
The
as
chain
bad
grab,
as someone
yeah.
can.
That's actually the only episode that I think would be funny if you go FD.
Yeah, I definitely will. I'm gonna be like, alright, just fucking end me, dude. Obviously, like, someone like Mango would be fun. I think it'd be cool to circle back around to Mewtwo King. That was good. Circle back to Mewtwo King. See if it does any better or worse. Maybe do a Sheik. Or...
Cuck.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. No one really jumps out like I like. I've been wanting, like, a bait's my homie, and I'm glad we finally got it, because I had the idea to do it with a bait first, and I ended up doing, like, 7 other people before we actually even, like, found the time to do it with each other. And a bait was a really fun one.
So,
oh yeah, none, I shot him the message today, he never got back to me. I don't, I mean, obviously, like, we know each other, we've talked before, I don't have that, like, connection with none like I do, other people. Woo! But, I'm sure he'll get on. You've played none on Netplay before. He's one of the Canadians with actual good internet, which is, like, rare. I feel I don't accept anything from Canada on Netplay. Like, I just can't. Internet cannot go around the lake. For some reason.
the internet has the highest viscosity, just like their maple syrup.
Right.
It's very sluggish.
It's not even their fault. You know what I mean? It just...
Yeah. That's the price they pay for free healthcare.
Right.
Bad internet.
They...
And you know what? I think I'd rather, you know, go in debt with medical bills than have bad internet. And that's my right as an American.
Right. Just kill me, but, like, if my down is under 500, then fucking, you know, what am I doing? That's a classic.
My controller trade into the retaliation.
My controller just started letting me after like 3 years of not, like letting me PC drop, which is so weird. Usually, like you never, you lose things, you never get it back. But now my controller is like, all right, I guess you've earned this. But the future of these, I don't know. I like. Obviously, these are fun, but I kind of have my sights set on other things that, like, my friends that are way smarter than me are gonna help me out with, like, because Melee's crazy. You can code shit into it. You can create your own formats. You know what I mean? Nowadays, and I have the right friends that somehow like me enough to do that. Like, you know,
like Save State,
Uncle Punch, and Save State. Like, yeah, they like those
Is
guys.
Uncle Punch Pit?
No, he's just, so I have a Discord full of crazy Melee people that just, like, we bounce ideas off each other. A lot of content creators, a lot of, like, crazy, like people that know their Melee shit. And, like, ooh, we come up with some cool stuff. And he's in there, and he's awesome, you know what I mean? People like P-Tass.
Right.
You know, a bunch of, like, low-tier heroes that, like, can, like, shed expertise on, like, their characters. Stuff like that. But, yeah, so, like, another thing, have you ever, like, what is it called? Gun game? You know what I mean? Someone posted that idea on Reddit the other day, like, a Melee, like, gun game, where, like, you try to get through the cast, like, yeah, I think that's possible. That's...
Each stock switches to a new character at random.
Right. And that's what I've been doing, like, when I play Netplay and I've been playing random and playing, like, I'll get an idea with, like, Ganondorf, and I'll, like, grind that out for a while.
You know, you're wise to that one. That's a classic Cactuar Mewtwo King trick.
Oh yeah, dude. So you came up in that Philly area of the Cactuar and the Velocity were the only, like, people playing.
Yeah. Cactuar is one of the few people that I greatly attribute my success with by taking me under his wing.
Oh yeah.
I learned a lot about being a healthy competitor and getting better at melee from him.
Oh yeah, because he could teach you things outside of melee. He's always
Yeah,
seemed like a.
he actually gave me a lot of great just general life advice,
Mhm.
and it's applied to me as a person and me as a competitor greatly. He'll never admit it, and I've told him it many times, but like I said, I do attribute a lot of my success to it. He says, "No, it's your success. You should own up to it." I'm like, well, I agree with that, and that's what I would
Ooh.
also think, but I I have to let it be known.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel the same way about the tag I'm wearing. Taki definitely was like just a super homie from the start.
You just have the one person in your life that has already done things or gotten to a place that they want it, and they um they essentially just pass the torch in a way.
Right. And
And
you like
he
can't
did
thank
he
them
did
enough
that
and
with
they
PP because feel like at a certain point when it came to Cactuar's career is that he stopped caring about being like a competitor as far as being the best in the world.
Mhm. Ooh, I feel like that rising platform messed up my tiny window that I can get out of that.
No.
I love that two hit over B like combo. Got some ideas for that. The Marth players will shit on it, but I know you'll be a fan. Alright, I'm getting it's about that time.
Closing
Fuck.
time. So good.
Beach fap. That's what a bait always called it. Beach fap.
Beach fat.
Beach fap. FAP.
Oh fuck! I missed
That
the
dare
pivy.
always hurts. The pivy.
So I talked to Zane. He said that he approves the pivy.
He approves the pivy as
Yeah,
as the term.
he approves the nickname the pivy.
Oh yeah.
So everyone use the pivy. When you see a pivot tipper, you call it the pivy tipper.
I definitely am down with that too. That's
It
that's good.
gives such a demolishing combo a little bit of cutesiness to it, so it doesn't hurt as bad.
Dude, nothing like hitting a nice pivy, pivy tipper.
Oh, fuck.
Will I get up attack for the 90th time? Shit. I thought if I talked about doing it, you would think there's no way I would. Uh-oh. That is just my only reaction to getting comboed off stage. I'm like, alright, fuck it, let it rip. I'm dead, but maybe I can take you with me. Ooh. Wanted to hit with the fire. These are long combos, man. I don't think I'm not used to getting comboed for so long. Like, these are like 30-second combos.
Are you ready to get hit with the maneuver?
The pivy?
Here we go. Oh no, I messed it up.
Do I have anti-pivy?
Oh,
I don't know if I do.
alright, here it is. Fuck.
Ooh, I
Alright, here we go.
got stuck.
I got stuck. I keep getting stuck in the maneuver. Alright, here we go.
Ooh, okay. I knew you were gonna slide off. I know what good players do.
Alright.
There's something brewing. I don't like it. You know what? Fuck it. I'm out of here.
Fuck it.
I have.
You know what? Me too. I'll drop the bad omen of the stock.
We were
Alright,
both
here it is.
fishing for some high percentage.
Fuck. This is the most times I've missed the maneuver.
Well, it's in your head now. You know what I mean? It's gotta be natural. As someone who has ideas and fishes for combos a lot, you know,
it's gotta come with the ebb and flow.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
I guess that counts. Alright, 2. Almost 3. So the maneuver is essentially dash forward, dash away, shield, wave, dash back, F smash. Funny story about it, at the script, friendly setup rotation, Ginger, Zane, and me. And I call out to Zane. I say, you know what? I'm going to hit this dude with the maneuver. He's like, do it, dude. Nice. And I do that to Ginger. He's like, oh, shit. That's the maneuver? I'm like, yep. It's broken, isn't it? He's like, I can't beat it. That's too strong. And we pretty much played the entire friendly set avoiding and trying to do the maneuver as Marth. So when me and Zane were doing Marth dittos, it was literally just us wave dashing like this, back and forth, where we just go like...
You only approached with the maneuver.
Yeah, we only approach with the maneuver. And it was just super funny because at one point, Ginger switched to Marth. He's like, I'll show you guys how to do it right. So, fast forward to Grand Finals, Ginger Zane at Scripts. I scream out in the crowd, do the maneuver, and in the middle of the set, Zane does the maneuver, and they both start laughing. You can actually
amazing.
go back to the VODs
Yeah,
and watch it.
I was
It's
just
really
thinking that would be it. That's good. I like little stories like that. Give like some context that like commentators cannot. They cannot provide for me. All right. So I'm down to 3 heads. This is where you top players love to just make it hurt. Ooh, girl. Ah, nice. Good for me.
I'm trying to go something nasties.
Oh yeah, let her rip. I mean, you're only up by 48, like 46 stocks. Ooh, comboed at or countered out of it. Amazing. Oops. Get my composure back a little bit. I knew what was coming there. That the little dash dance wave dash off back air. Jake can hit me with that shit like 40 times. It's smooth looking too.
It's nasty.
Did I steal a jump?
You did.
And then I wasn't able to get there fast enough. I tripped up on my own feet.
Okay. All right, Betty.
I got maneuvers.
Maneuvered? Oh, no. Oh, you kept the guard up. It's one of the strongest counters to the maneuver.
Well, now I know. And if any of my pit homies ever have to play a Stango, I'm going to be like, this is going to sound fucked up, but watch out for the maneuver. All right, so...
Yeah. You can't tell them anything else. You just have to say, watch out for the maneuver.
They're going to be like, that's not going to help me at all. I'm like, trust me. I will be behind
All
him
right, I have
shouting.
an objective for the last stock,
All right.
and I might lose my goal of having the most amount of stocks, but I will get this objective.
Okay.
It's going to take a very long time.
Let's go. Anything that pads my numbers, I'm down with. I
Okay.
might be dying to
Come
this
down a
up
little
air.
bit. Oh. Okay. Okay.
No.
I have a long way to go. It's gonna be. I wish you were playing Peach right now. Don't die off the side off of that. Alright.
Ooh, grab the shit out of me right there.
Okay.
Am I dying off the top to an up throw? You're better than that.
Nah, maybe 300. Maybe. 300 may even be too low. Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot my first lasers of the match.
Ooh, tech chase? No.
Fuck.
No way.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, that was DI.
278.
That was DI right. Definitely the best way to end one of these that we've done.
Alrighty.
All right.
John Hancock.
So stick around. Let's talk Slippy stats.
Let's talk numbers.
Let's talk numbers. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me open up the stream so I can get a look at this.
Absolutely. I need a shortcut for this. I always have to go find it. Slippy.
Let's look here.
52,000 kilobytes. Okay. It's so funny the Slippy takes forever for me to actually like get it up.
All right. Where's our stream? Because I wasn't being responsible and I wasn't following the channel beforehand.
Oh no, all good.
Wait, am I not following? I'm pretty certain I am actually, because I think I followed during the
last one. Yeah.
during the last one and also the fucking 2-man target practice.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one too.
I'm not following. I feel bad. All right, let's do it. All right, let's see. We're loading the stats. We're man of stats.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, this is the error message. All right, let's see if everything holds true. Like if I won in a category. It always does that, and then it takes a second for me to close this out.
Wait, I look like I won every category. I see a lot of gold on my end.
I got one.
You got one?
Beneficial trades, which is kind of a bullshit
oh my
like stat, but we'll take it.
Fuck. Beneficial trades?
Beneficial trades, bro. I was trading.
Holy shit, I did a lot more damage than you.
Yeah, that has been the trend. I'm actually one of the things
I did fucking 13K.
Yeah, especially with that 200 at the end. You're just padding stats at that point.
Oh yeah, I was definitely padding stats.
Although it makes sense, like although you know what, the one
Marth combos for a lot longer, and I
shine
did, like super overextension combos.
Right. So let's see if anything jumps out of me. Yeah, the damage done, opening conversion rate, openings per kill. That's actually hasn't been the worst.
You spot dodged 239 times that entire time.
Yeah, and you did 10, huh?
Yeah, you spot dodged a lot.
There were a lot of hot dogs, definitely being thrown. and you know what? I don't even think that's like. I've done more. I forget against who, but I've done more. But like, the funny stat was like a bait like wave dashed like 10,000 more times than I did. Obviously, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna put these all together too. And you edged me out in inputs per minute, which Marth's a fairly technical character, and you're dashing, doing a lot of things too. But
yeah,
that's pretty close.
Wow.
I only waveland 40 times, where you did it. Well, that makes sense too.
That'd be ledge dashes.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think I've like been trapped on the edge a lot. I kind of that
No, I
nothing.
feel like you were trapped in the air,
Hmm. Oh,
perpetually floating.
this was a close stat too here. This counter hits. You won 51% to my 49. Couple more, and I could have won two. I've never won two. I've always only won one. And even if it's this,
I can't
be-
believe I lost because of beneficial. What does that even? How is there only
what that
three?
means, I have no idea. I mean, it could be ones where we both die, like we trade, but you die first. And in a four stock game, that probably matters a lot more. But who knows? I don't know. We're taking
Duration.
What else? Oh yeah, I definitely look at this. I died from down air. A good stretch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stocks straight.
Wait, it shows you what move kills you?
Yeah, yeah. I wish it would group it. That's something.
Yeah, I wish you could filter it. That's really fucking funny, actually.
But yeah, there was definitely a good 5 stock straights where I think I got Ken comboed a million times. Oh, so fun.
Oh shit, that's funny, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
This actually wasn't one of my. You know what? I'm kind of like not confident in the matchup, but comfortable, right? In
I
this
mean, you
matchup.
got half.
Yeah, yeah, and half's good. So the
Half's
record,
good in 99 stocks.
the record, yeah, that's just like a 2 stock.
99 is just better, though.
Right, right. It's very better. Yeah, I didn't have those like 5 kill streaks with just Ken combo.
That quadrant in the top right-hand corner.
You also, I think, you had more self destructs than your average.
I did.
But it could be, I don't know. Yeah, net
I killed
plays,
myself a
notorious.
lot in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first one. I took the first. Oh wait, I stole the first one, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I remember. Yeah. All right, man. You down to play some friendlies here? You wanna like switch up some characters? You
Yeah,
got a
I
little
can
bit of
definitely
time?
do that. That sounds
Yeah.
dope.
We'll play for a little bit.
Oh man,
We'll keep the
that was
party
fun.
going.